Boyd, I think the mushrooms kicked in.
Welcome back to another episode of Ryan's Reviews. Today on the channel, we will be discussing from episode 5, the mid-season finale, What a Long Strange Trip It's Been. We immediately start this episode with some excitement. I loved every bit of this episode. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a perfect 10 out of 10. I honestly have no complaints. And I just wanted to apologize ahead of time for the late post on this. Extremely busy Sunday for myself. We had the Cavs game 7, so I had to rock the jersey, of course. But we we will explain a lot of different discoveries, a lot of answers we get. So without further ado, let's get into it. We immediately start off the episode where the cliffhanger left off, and they unleash everything from the lake, the mystery from the lake when they yank the rope in, and it's an abundance of dolls, like these super creepy. They have these like buttons on their eyes. It's exactly like the scarecrow or doll-like creature that we see in the trailer before season 4 was released. So we have them not really knowing what to do with this newfound information. Donna makes an excellent point, like scarecrows are meant to keep birds away, to scare crows away. What if these dolls were meant to do the same thing for the entity or monsters that could be below the lake? So they panic. Donna has everyone gather an assortment of rocks to weigh them down. You see Ellis push them into the lake. And before that, Tabitha is helping out stuff the dolls with the rocks. And she has like a flashback to her childhood. And you see these flashbacks bit by bit throughout the episode. We get more and more answers throughout the episode, and by the end of it, it's like boom, it's a revelation. But we'll get to that later on. So that is it as far as daytime by the Lake of Tears. We do have a shot with Ethan burying the bird. I don't know what else to say. I thought this was a fake out. It might be more of a metaphor for the Lake of Tears. We will get the answers by the end of season 4. I truly believe that. But anyways, we one of the more important parts of the episode is going to be Jade and his trip, and that is exactly where we leave off to next. We have Jade and Boyd in the sheriff's station, and you can tell his trip is working because he's looking out at the hotel sign, and it literally says answers with the arrow pointing, and it says this way. So they start their trip. They wander out into the forest, and eventually you see a younger version of Jade, the childhood Jade, and it's said that Boyd's the guide throughout, but the childhood version of him is his essential trip buddy throughout the guide. But we have Jade talking to his former self, and then he turns around, immediately startled. He sees the Civil War, or not the Civil War. It's the like cannibal looking hallucination he has, the one that's like drinking the blood. And Boyd's telling him, just drink the blood, it's fake, none of this is real. And his kid version is saying, don't do it, you're going to see some things you don't want to see. So he drinks it, and he will indeed see a bunch of things he doesn't want to see. It's pretty cool because we actually get them by the colony house and a montage of Christopher, the Civil War soldier. You have the man crushed by the boulder in season 1 in the cellar, the blood drinking cannibal guy. You have all of them. And the big reveal here, spoiler warning, those are all former versions of Jade. It's pretty big. It's the biggest reveal we've had on his character so far. I think it's an equivalent to what we had with Tabitha last season when she hugged Victor and she immediately flashed back to Miranda getting torn apart by Smiley. Um, it's we, we have a lot more we can dive into by the end of the season with that. And another reveal was that each version of Jade in the past was murdered by the townspeople. And Boyd straight up says, "What the fuck are you talking about? People murdering you?" It was hilarious. But let's go back into the episode a little bit. We have Sophia getting patched up, her arm, and Marielle runs out to the ambulance to get some supplies out there, and it is heavily inferred that Sophia is she's already out. It's the man in yellow. She's the one that's in charge of Sarah's whispers throughout the seasons. And when she's in the ambulance, she sees or doesn't see, she immediately goes back to season 2 when she's in shackles and she gets her arms slammed up. She is clearly spazzing out. She doesn't know what the hell's going on. And you see the radios start to play a little bit. It gave me kind of flashbacks to season 1 with, "You shouldn't be digging that hole, Jim." Kind of gave me those vibes a little bit. But later on, you have that continuing a little bit. Like Sophia just straight up grabs her arm. And I don't know if she doesn't need to actually touch the person for the man in yellow's powers to work. Uh, As you could clearly see, like with the Sarah thing in season 1 and 3 and beyond. But she does indeed touch her arm, and then she immediately flashes back to everything, immediately has her hands thrown up in shackles again, and you just see this evil smirk on her face. Like it's like when she flashed back in episode 1 and said, "This is my favorite part when I watch him tear themselves apart." And you could see that on her face. You could see all of that. But yeah, it was not a reveal right there, but just further proof that the man in yellow, that is the theme this season. It's the man in yellow terrorizing the town, and then of course any oh my god, Lake of Tears answers. Another thing, you see the man in yellow or Sophia, she is eavesdropping on Randall and Jolie. It just looks like we don't really get much from either of those two characters in this episode. They're just arguing back and forth. Randall saying that your dad would not want to see you doing this, putting yourself in danger. Like, this is crazy. And you see Sophia just eavesdropping, smirking, loving every minute of it. And one of the more emotional payoffs in the episode, last week we had Victor's dad discovering that Miranda was torn to pieces and eaten by the man in yellow. And he clearly was having a meltdown. In that meltdown, hit tenfold in this episode. He's hammered, he's loudly singing and playing the piano and just being belligerent. He draws a crowd in Colony House, and you could just feel the secondhand embarrassment from Victor. He's not really capable of dealing with something with this much emotional weight and gravitas. He was just stunted by the town growing up, and you could see that through his body language. He was so uncomfortable. He didn't know how to help his dad, how to just get that done, get out of that situation. And you could really feel for him. But we fast forward a little bit through the episode. You have everyone in the settlement. They're freaking out. They can't sleep. They are talking about, like, there's no way they can stay there, and Tabitha finally, all the dots finally connect, and she remembers when she was a child, there was a man that took her dolls. Those were her dolls, by the way, in the beginning of the episode. And he threw them in the lake, said that these are giving you nightmares. You cannot have them. The next day, he ends up dead. And she starts panicking, saying that, oh my God, we cannot stay here. The talisman will not protect us. And then the famous shot we get in the trailer, that happens. The doll busts through the ceiling. The one man, the no-name character, it's terrifying. Like, um, it the doll like transforms with the sharp teeth and everything, almost like the regular monsters in the series. Sticks his arm in the guy's mouth, freaking tears him apart. And the other female character, she gets her face smothered in the fire. It's fucking gnarly, man. Like it was, my heart was honestly pounding because my prediction I made of Donna the last episode, it did not come true. There was a good fake out, but it didn't come true. You have one of the dolls sneaking up behind Donna. I'm just, holy shit, it's about to actually happen. They're doing it. And it cuts away. You have Tabitha. It stabs it like through the stomach, and it actually takes it down. That is the end of the doll saga, at least. And this week, going back to Jade and tripping with Boyd, they lead to the colony house. And there is actually a hidden door down there, hidden by all these suitcases. They're tearing it apart. He's like, is this really here? Like, yeah, this is happening. So they open the door. It's a hallway. It leads to the creature's lair underground, underneath the town. And Jade's walking and walking by himself. Boyd's nowhere to be found. And then he finally does pop up. Like, we got to get the F out of here, man. We got to get the freak out of here. Like, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. And he's like, what's the safe word? Capricorn. And Jade complies until he sees the younger version of himself. So he follows him. Next thing you know, you should have listened to Boyd. It was one of the like middle-aged monster characters, and they're all down there. They grab him. Uh, it's really hard to tell if this is a hallucination or not. I'm gonna admit, I'm gonna be real. I was not sure. I was dead set on it leading up to this week, but they throw him into one of the tombs that they sacrificed the children on. And that is another reveal. This is the area that the children were sacrificed. And they throw him into one of the tombs, and you're cut to one of the children that says Ann Cooey. And then it cuts to him waking up in the sheriff's station. Mic drop. He never left. Him and Boyd never left the entire episode. But it's pretty cool because the episode ends with, I know exactly what to do to get us home. And that is essentially what happened this week. Like, we got some huge reveals, especially Jade with his character. What does that mean? I want you to let me know. What do you think this information is going to lead to? Are we going to get the answers by the end of season 4? Is this going to drag out a little bit? What was your favorite part of this episode? I know mine was definitely the doll sequence, even though the answers were amazing. And just the mystery of trip or not trip. It's getting real. We're getting close to the end game. I cannot wait to see where this series takes us. It sucks ass that we're going to have to wait a week without this amazing show. But I cannot wait to get there. That is about all I got today. Make sure you leave your comments in the section below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I will see you next time. Peace.